FTA drivers behind the line. 3, 2, 1, go!
First 50 seconds completely pre-programmed Thomas. 461 West Side Boulder Evasion quickly delivering game piece to the top part of the reef for 7 points for their Lions team. 10-18, just shy of that game piece. All three of those teams leaving their starting taped off area, getting those points for their Thomas ranking point. Red Lions still not to be outdone. Clerks completing game piece to the top part of their reef as well. 2 of those each worth 7 points for their Lions. The remainder 2 minutes 50 seconds all until they operate. Human players picking up controllers, driving the robots around that their team built over the last 13 weeks. Though one of those teams 10-18, Pike Road Devils from Indianapolis, Indiana, needs to precisely pick up that game piece from their human player coral reef station and then deliver it somewhere on the reef to score those points for their alliance. 84-30 is one of the Hatchbatch Robotics. There's 2 of those teams, but only one of them made it here to the state championship, correctly removing one of those teal spheres known as reeds from their reef area, known as algae. There's plenty of points available for that game piece in the field of play, but a lot of teams with designing the robot to focus on that coral and then score it around in the reef. Limited amount of algae around the field of play. Those start in the reef and then need to be removed. 84-30, Hatchback success delivering one of those algae to their processor. Worth 6 points for their alliance. However, that algae then passes into the opponent's hands for attempt to be scored in the top part of the barge. 829 Digital Goats, another one of the Indianapolis teams, uniquely has that wrist-changing mechanisms. Allows them to pick up the coral in one orientation and then put it in a different orientation when they're scoring on the reef. Super helpful for scoring on that L1 level. That's worth 2 points for their alliance. Scores currently 104-92 in favor of your Blue Alliance. A minute remaining in the match. Blue Alliance usurping that two algae required in the process for 4 cooperation. Blue Alliance, however, will need to join them in order to lower that ranking point threshold. They've just done so. We see that handshake icon on both sides of the screen. So we can see that that coral ranking point threshold is now for 3 of those levels. Most teams focusing in on levels 2, 3, and 4, bypassing L1 in that black trough since it's worth the least amount of points. 30 seconds remaining in the match. Teams will start making their way over to those cages, but they can continue to score, and these teams will consider that, especially since the current scores are so close in the match. 143-129, only a few points difference there, and plenty available in the climb. 292 Panther Tech heading over there. They're from Rushville, Indiana, hoping to get elevated off the ground and prepare for that end game period. They will have to remain there after the end of the match to get those points. Blue Alliance trying to sneak in some game points there as well. 135, Panther Robotics Black Nice, 461 White Side Boiler Invasion, and all their teammates. Just about ran out of time here. The qualification match 45 here at the First Indiana State Championship. Score of 165. The Red Alliance is 140. Taking with 5 of those ranking points, 3 for winning the match, 1 for the work in autonomous, and for their work in the coral. As we start making our way towards Alliance selection, make sure that you're sending your representatives. You can take a peek at the screen if you need a reminder of what those look like. You can have up to 3 folks on the field, and if you have 2 students, one of that third person could be a non-student. Also some rules there for a reminder about how the